Looking for financial insights you can trust?
How do you protect yourself as an investor? What's the strategy?
I think it's really simple. I think you just want to be diversified in your portfolio.
The Payne family brings real-world experience to every conversation.
Well, I think that's the problem right now is, right, a lot of people that are close to retirement, they're taking so much risks. And if we do get a big sell-off, it could derail their retirement.
Listen to the Payne Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Excuse me! Taxi!
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
This is my special operations general. Good guy, he's not doing anything wrong, but he reveals a capability our government has, and I fear that this capability is being used against our own people. Psychological operations, information operations, getting people to do what the government wants it to do. And there are portions of this government, right, the resistance inside the government. You got to resist President Trump. After all, he's an existential threat to democracy. Existential threat. Hey, breaking news. The guy who tried to kill President Trump at the golf course in 2024 just got life in prison. Ryan Ruth sentenced to life in prison for a Trump assassination attempt. How about that one? How about the idea that he got as close as he did to President Trump after another attack? You know, the one in Butler. That's crazy. All right, more on that in a bit. Here's my general from the special operations community talking about the capability the U.S. government has to mess with social media and mess with people's heads. Go ahead.
Psychological operations, PSYOP soldiers, they're the masters of influence across multiple media, whether it's a leaflet, a computer program, social media. They cause our enemies and our friendly partners to change their behavior. So influencing them to do what we want.
How about that one? Social media influencing our enemies and our friendly partners to do what we want. Now, there are a lot of people in the Central Intelligence Agency who want people to do this. When ICE officers go out to make an arrest, which they are legally authorized to do, this happens. Cut 11, please. All right, thank you. Now, would you like to hear what a raid sounded like under Barack Obama? When Barack Obama was president, it sounded like this. Totally quiet. There were no protests. There was no yelling and screaming. Everybody was cool with it because it was the Obama. Something stepped in and changed things. Don't you think it's safe to say something really changed? Why? How? I want to know. Trump derangement syndrome plagues the federal government, and the federal government has awesome capability that they have not relinquished as they actually promised to do at times. This is an old-timey clip, but it's not that old-timey. 1975. Do you remember what you were doing? Do you understand that the Central Intelligence Agency was paying reporters, television news anchors, to say certain things and not say other things? This is William Colby, CIA chief at the time. Cut 14.
Do you have any people being paid by the CIA who are contributing to a major circulation American journal?
We do have people who submit pieces to American journals.
Do you have any people paid by the CIA who are working for television networks?
This, I think, gets into the kind of getting into the details, Mr. Chairman, that I'd like to get into in executive session.
Executive session. Executive session. As in, I want to tell you yes, but I can't say it openly in front of all these people. That is really something. It's still happening. I believe it is still happening. I also believe that my friend, Bill Stevenson, is probably innocent. I'm still in shock that the man has been arrested. It was a terrible shock initially that his wife, Linda, died late December. in his home. Who's Bill Stevenson? Bill Stevenson was married to Jill Biden back in the day. And, well, he knows what weaponization of law enforcement looks like, weaponization of the judicial system. They came after Bill Stevenson in Delaware, very, very hard for late payment of $8,000 in the first quarter of 1982. They indicted him on April 8th because he didn't pay taxes for the first quarter of 1982. What's the first quarter of 1982? January, February, and March. 8 days later, he's indicted in federal court. It is ludicrous, but you could get away with it because it's a dinky little nowhere state, Delaware. The size of most counties in New York State are bigger than the whole state of Delaware. You ever been to Wyoming County in upstate New York? I haven't either, but it's bigger than Delaware by a lot. And you could do things like this. You could have your enemies locked up. So Bill Stevenson saw that. He came forward. He saw what they were doing to President Trump, and he took a stand, and he made a pro-Trump. He was almost like a full-time campaigner for Trump. Jill Biden's ex-husband, cut 16.
It's hard to believe what they're doing to President Trump right now. And that's why I came to you and you listened to my story. He is doing Joe Biden, our president, right? He lives 2 miles from me. Today, I'm 2 miles from the courtroom where the Hunter deal fell apart. And he is doing the exact same thing. I couldn't stand it anymore. I needed somebody just to listen to me, to tell them what happened to me because I got on the wrong side of the Biden family.
He did get on the wrong side of the Biden family, and they came after him hard. How did they get on the wrong side of Biden? Well, Joe was the one who should be ashamed. He took a married woman away from Bill Stevenson, right? And, Bill couldn't compete with the United States Senator. Big fish, small pond, right? And she swooned for Joe and cheated on Bill with Joe. They made up a story that they met on a blind date. That is not true. Nobody, it's fascinating to me. There have been biographies on Joe and Jill Biden, and this stuff isn't in it, but it's a matter of public record. It happened. You can't ignore this story. It's part of the story. And they came after Bill because basically he won in divorce court. He embarrassed Joe and Jill in divorce court. And from that point on, one of the Biden brothers came to him and said, you got to get out of this state if you know what's good for you. And I guess in retrospect, maybe he should have taken that advice, right? Political power in the hands of a brutal thug like Joe Biden. I still think he's innocent. That's what my heart tells me. I don't know what the evidence is, but I do know this: the intelligence community has a lot of tricks up their sleeve. All right, I have to take a quick break, and we will resume. Thank you.
Listen to this podcast now on the Red Apple Podcast Network. The Leadership Thread with Dr. Peggy Polonis.
I'm Dr. Peggy Polonis. Join me on each episode where I unravel the story that shaped leaders, tracing the thread that led them where they are today. Because leadership isn't born in adulthood. And thank you once again for joining us on the Leadership Thread, education, ethics, and sustainability.
Download all of Red Apple Media's podcasts right now through your favorite podcast platform.